Alright, we are live, of course, for another episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, this is for the Battleground Predictions Show. Of course, we got other topics going on, and we might have some other surprise guests coming randomly, so be on the lookout for that. Of course, we got Chase and as well Brandon. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. Just excited to talk about some good old WWE Battleground 2014 and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. How about that Sting hype, though, huh? How about it?
Yeah, since that's going to be pretty much the first topic, let's get right into it. Of course, earlier I did post that video with Levi and talking about 2K15. Of course, now Sting being available and the character for WWE 2K15. Now, with that, like I said to you before, I think there's going to be hope for Sting to be able to show up on WWE TV like we've seen with the Ultimate Warrior and everything like that. So I think there is still a chance of that happening, but you never really know. Chase, your thoughts on that?
Sting possibly showing up to WWE TV. I don't know who you would have to face if he did show up on WWE TV. Probably Wyatt or Cena because those are big money matchups for him. But I'm excited that he's in the video game in all honesty because it's just like this is Sting we're talking about here. He's one of the greatest WCW legends, if not the best WCW superstar of all time. You know, we're finally going to get to use him in a video game. It's not going to be some created character. You know, it's going to be Sting. We're going to hear the Crow theme in the video game. We're going to hear the man called Sting in the video game. I mean, it's going to be just awesome just to see him there. I mean, he's one of the main reasons why I'm getting 2K15. I haven't got a wrestling game in the past 2 years. Like, the last wrestling game I got was WWE 12. But I haven't got a wrestling game in the last 2 years, so I'm very excited to finally get back into the wrestling game scene and play 2K15. Because originally I was probably going to go buy 2K14 this upcoming weeks just to go play a wrestling game until I heard 2K15 say, "Oh yeah, Sting is going to be in the game." I said, "Nope, screw 2K14. I'm just going to go buy 2K15 when it comes out." So I'm very excited for it, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Brandon, you guys?
I think Sting being added to the game is it's a major selling point to the game, and I doubt all the people who said they're not buying the game because Cena's on the cover. I guarantee you they're thinking, but well, I'm gonna buy it because Sting's in the game. Like I can just see that now. People are gonna do that. But 2 generations of Sting is gonna be amazing. I've seen a meme on the internet with a Dixie Carter holding her hands on her head, going WWE made Sting look like a bigger star than I ever did in his entire TNA career.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
I just want to talk about that for a little bit about Cena being on the cover. It's like, are people really saying that? Are people really saying that they're not going to buy a video game because John Cena's on the cover?
Yeah,
I've been on most of the covers too in the past before.
Yeah, that makes
anything different.
I didn't.
That's ridiculous to me. That's ridiculous because I played a Madden in the NBA games, and let me tell you, Kevin Durant was on the cover, is going to be on the cover of 2K15, and I hate Kevin Durant. But I'm still gonna buy NBA 2K15 if I have the money for it. That's for sure. If I ever feel like playing it, so it's like that makes no sense to me. If you don't like the cover, here's a tip for all you YouTubers. There's a thing called Google. You search up custom covers. You print them out. And then afterwards you take scissors. You take scissors like these right here. You cut the cover. You cut the cover out of the paper, and then you slide it into the game. That's how you get your custom covers. Seriously, man. If you don't like Cena on the cover, just get a custom one, man. It's not that big of a deal. Don't play a video game just because a certain person's on the cover. I think that's just dumb and immature, man.
And they'll probably do it like how this game was, where you have Daniel Bryan was on the back. You can just easily reverse and switch it. So who's to say that they won't do that this year?
I'm gonna print out that Bubba Dunk Funkin' cover that he posted on his Facebook, and I'm gonna put that as my cover. I'm gonna have Bubba Dunk Funkin' on the cover of WWE.
Yeah, whatever you feel like going with, it's up to you.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I already got my JTG cover ready, man. I got JTG gonna be on.
Hey, there you go. Although I didn't enjoy The Rock being on 2K14, and that didn't keep me from going out and buying the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I still got it anyway.
exactly. And you can switch it to Daniel Bryan. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
like I just said.
Yeah, and I get to think the Cena hate, and I've done many videos on, haters of Cena. I think Cena gets a
Mhm.
really bad rap with people, and I think it's the popular thing now to hate on John Cena. I think it is. John Cena does fine in the ring, not as bad as everyone thinks he
Right.
is.
Mhm.
Um,
I think it's just
and
more. I think it's more or less. It's just that people have finally come to realize that no matter who gets pushed or whatever, ultimately at the end of the day, the man is going to be John Cena. So
yeah,
that's why.
Mhm. It's sad, but true.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's why so many people are against the cover.
yeah.
But I just think it's ridiculous. If you like the video game, any video game, it
Yeah,
shouldn't
you
matter
shouldn't
who's on
really
the
go
cover.
against
You
that.
should go play it. You should go play it. If it's a game you
Yeah.
enjoy, go play it, man. That's all I gotta say. I'm just surprised I've heard that people are not going to play the game because John Cena's on the
Exactly.
cover.
I mean,
Yeah.
LeBron James is the bane of my existence, and I played NBA
Yeah,
2K14.
exactly.
So,
And he's and, and,
Mhm.
he, and he, he's featured in everything. He's featured in the backgrounds. He has his own mode in that game. So
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
All right, so going ahead and moving on to the next topic, and with this one, of course, I would pretty much go into with something really fun, if you will. Now, with going into favorite wrestling experience, of course, going to like an event or whatever have you, or meeting a wrestler or something like that, and giving you guys thoughts. And that going back to Brendan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. My most recent one actually, WWE Payback 2014. Uh, it was a good show. Very fun live experience. That Evolution versus the Shield match was crazy live.
Hmm.
Uh, great match. I enjoyed Wyatt Cena, even though apparently Bray Wyatt completely buried now because Cena beat him, but whatever. Um, um, that was sarcasm, by the way. Um,
I got
but
that.
yeah, WWE Payback was fun experience. I went to a SmackDown taping a few years ago. That was fun too. I know you recently went to a SmackDown taping, David, and
Mhm.
SmackDown tapings are really fun. Yeah, just the live, nothing beats the live experience. Nothing,
agreed.
No doubt.
yeah, yeah. It can be the worst. You can go to WWE Capital Punishment live, and it would
I,
be
I, I
You
went.
still have a fun ass
I
time.
went. I went to No Way Out 2007. That shit was garbage, but I had fun being there.
exactly. If you're there
Right.
live, you can be like I said, in a
Exactly.
pay-per-view like Capital Punishment, and
Mhm.
it'll be fun. Even though Capital Punishment was by far the worst pay-per-view
No,
I've ever seen in my life. But
no, even more worse than December to Dismember. Even more worse than that.
is that the one with that's the whole Bobby Lashley winning the ECW title, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this December to
Uh,
Dismember is the worst pay-per-view products. For me, when it comes down
Right.
to live events, I
Mhm.
have been to a lot of like house shows. House shows I find are really fun. I think a lot of people don't go to a lot of house shows because it's not TV taped or anything, but they're really fun to go to. It's like you get to see longer matches. You get to see really good views. Like they're matches that you pretty much see on TV and pay-per-view. But house shows are fun. But I've been to a couple of tapings and a couple of pay-per-views. The only pay-per-views I've really been to are No Way Out 2007 and SummerSlam
Mhm.
2011. Those are the only pay-per-views. No really funny stories here, but I think my favorite show I've ever been to was a Raw and SmackDown Super Show taping. On the Raw that I went to, Kevin Federline insulted John Cena, so it was John Cena and Kevin
oh
Federline.
God.
I
Crime
remember
Time,
that.
Crime Time made their debut on that Raw, and the
Yeah.
Spirit Squad broke up. The main event was Triple H versus Triple H versus Randy Orton, and then the SmackDown that followed afterwards, it was Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero in an I Quit match, and we also got Undertaker versus Gregory Helms and Batista versus King Booker for the world title. So I went to an awesome show, and I had these
Yeah.
two funny black people behind me. So we were watching the JTG and Shad Gaspard match, and the black guy behind me is all like, "Hey man, when did Brandon T. Jackson and 50 Cent get into the WWE? Oh my God, look at the word those names." They were just like making all these
Mhm.
funny ass names and terms. And I think SummerSlam 2011, the funniest for me, one of the funniest was when Del Rio cashed in the Money in the Bank and he won. It was hilarious because there was just like this Mexican fan and this CM Punk fan, and they started to fight. And then Booker T jumped over the barricade and started to separate them. I thought that was hilarious. But,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
but going to WWE Live, it's just weird, man. It's just like it's such a fun experience. No matter how many times you go, it just feels like so special and so surreal. You're there with the crowd, and it's just like everyone's cheering and booing, and like even wrestlers you're not really fans of, like you kind of give them the pop because Edge showed up for SummerSlam. I don't give a shit about Edge. I don't like Edge. He's not my favorite wrestler. But when he came out, when Christian introduced him, I kind of gave him a pop. And it's just that you just have fun when you're there live. And it's if you've never been there live, it doesn't matter where you're sitting or how your view is. Try to go live at least once in your life because going there live is just so much fun. Hearing the music, hearing the pyro, hearing the ring, hearing the superstars talking the microphone, it's always a good time. So definitely try to go to a WWE live event, and I've been lucky to at least have seen Taker live almost every time that I went. You know, so
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
like that was the biggest markup because the Raw Super Show, the Raw SmackDown Super Show, it was crazy. They started filming that at 7 o'clock. Raw ended at like 9:05, and so like it was like let's see, they had like this one. They had Chris Benoit versus Sylvain Grenier as a dark match, and then we had like a bunch of other the Raw show. Then Raw ended, and then SmackDown didn't start till 9:30, and everyone was like leaving SmackDown. But I was tired too because I just watched the I Quit match between Ray and Chavo, one of SmackDown's best matches ever. I just got done watching that match. And then Gregory Helms is all like, to Teddy Long, I want a match. I'm the Cruiserweight Champion. And then he says Undertaker. The whole arena fucking lit up. And that was like my first time seeing Undertaker live. So I was like marking out like a little kid. So it was awesome.
It's only the Undertaker with Teddy Long, isn't it? It's like you're gonna be facing the
That's his guy.
Undertaker. It's only the Undertaker or a tag team match with Teddy Long.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, but live events, I can't like really stress how much fun they are going to. No matter what people say about the show, like No Way Out 2007, watching it over, it's a garbage pay-per-view, but that pay-per-view holds a special place in my heart because it was actually like it was cool live. I mean, I got to see RVD and Sheldon Benjamin in a dark match. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's always really something cool, and to me, it's like a little personal vacation, just going there, having fun, and acting crazy and doing other things like that. But I've been going to house shows too a long time. My very first pay-per-view was Royal Rumble 2008, one of my favorite pay-per-views. So being there at Madison Square Garden was really cool and a really special moment. I was able to.
With John Cena?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you went to that one with Cena return. That's cool.
Yeah, not only that, I didn't even realize this at the time, but WWE TNA for Life, but Brendan was John was there too, so that was actually really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would probably.
Actually, on YouTube, if you guys want, there's like 2 videos someone uploaded a long time ago of them being live during John Cena's entrance, and it's so crazy when you hear it live because they're like, what?
Easy.
You just hear a lot of people go crazy, and then like it's so funny when Cena gets into the ring, it's like all cheers, and then once he gets into the ring, he starts beating up Henry. Everyone's like, boo! It's like, John Cena. So, interesting cat that John Cena is.
Yeah. I almost came close to going to a Raw one time, but it didn't really go as planned, so that was kind of a bummer. Hopefully, Raw will come down here. And the first SmackDown that I went to was in 2012, and that was November the 1st episode after Hell in a Cell that time. So that one was really interesting. And what was cool about that, that Randy Orton with his brawl and everything got a Slammy Award nominee, so that was pretty interesting. So I didn't expect that to happen too. So when I saw that too on the Slammy Awards one time, I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, with the last one that I just went to, of course, just last night, you guys will be able to see the actual day in the life video, which will be up tomorrow for the July 15th episode of Main Event, and also for this week's Friday Night SmackDown. So it's really something awesome. I'm not too sure when they'll be coming back here again, but I will definitely be on board for the next time. But with that being said, getting right into the next topic that I do have here, and pretty interesting stuff too that I found out with the news not too long ago, of course, with Santino actually being forced to retire. I was actually not expecting that. It kind of came as a
Hmm.
shock to me. So I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. Going back to Chase, your thoughts on Santino.
It sucks that he retired. He was actually one of the more entertaining characters on WWE TV. I always liked Santino. I never was one of those Santino haters.
Hmm.
I always say that Santino Marella hurt his career more than it helped it. Like a lot of people like that stuff that he was doing with Santino. I personally thought that was like the road bump in his career, and then he was just kind of being inconsistent ever since after that. But I always liked him. I never had a problem with him. You know, it just sucks because it's like he was an entertaining character. He was one guy that was constant that the fans would cheer for. You know, he would always get a reaction. Most undercarders wish they could get a reaction. Santino always got that reaction, and I just hope that he's still featured on WWE TV to some extent. If he isn't, then hey man, he had a good career, and he's definitely someone that will be in the Hall of Fame down the line.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't exactly my favorite, but I did enjoy him. I thought he was funny too at times. And it kind of sucks to actually see that happen, have his career cut short, pretty much like that. But it was really cool to see him, and I do wish him the best of luck and everything like that. So it really sucks that it had to be like that. Brendan, your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I was never ever a fan of Santino. I just wasn't a fan of the character, wasn't a fan of the gimmick. Uh, he was entertaining, but it's not like, uh, I'm glad Chase had been a fan of him, unlike some of the other fans who, uh, hated on Santino, and then when he retired, all of them
Right.
jumped on all of them jumped on his bandwagon and said, "Oh, he was such an entertaining character, and we're gonna miss him." Uh, uh, Chase is the only one I've seen consistent with that, so I
Yeah.
actually I actually applaud Chase for that. Um, but
Hell, in my Raw reviews, back in 2011, 2012, in my Raw reviews, I would get so much shit for defending Santino. It was hilarious. Like, I would get all these people shitting on me, like, how dare you defend that Santino segment? I thought it was funny. Fuck you. It's like, god damn, but it is what it is. Like,
see, people now with the WWE, they
Mhm.
don't understand that the company is an entertainment company now. They
Yeah.
still they still view it as a wrestling company, and it is
Mhm.
to some extent, but
Right.
it's entertainment based, and
Exactly.
I think that's why people get so disappointed because it gets lost on them that
Right.
you know that Vince has taken this company from a wrestling company to an entertainment company, and I think the sooner people realize that, the less disappointed they will be.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm never a fan of Santino. I wish him the best. Definitely, maybe he'll get a job backstage, being an agent, a road agent, or
yeah.
something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, best of luck to him in his future endeavors, as some people would say.
Yeah, and that pretty much too goes back to what we talked about earlier, going to the shows and everything. And once you're there, you do definitely get that feeling that it really is entertainment
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and how you get really invested into the characters and everything like that. So it's really something. So there you have it with that.
yeah,
And actually, with the next thing too, which I found really interesting, of course, we do have a new wrestler coming in and actually going to NXT, and now with Kenta that I've seen too, which I think is really something interesting. I've seen
yeah.
a little bit of him. I am definitely looking forward to seeing so much more. So
Oh
I
man,
think it's going to be actually pretty damn worth it. So, Brendan, your thoughts?
did you watch that video of Brian Danielson Kenta that I
I
linked
have
in
that
my
yet. I am definitely going to get around to it.
that that is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life. Not only because of the wrestling, but because of the crowd. I said in the video,
Hmm.
the crowd is completely silent for the duration of the match,
Yeah.
and to us, to WWE fans, we would say, "Oh, that's a dead crowd." Uh, but Japan has such a respect for wrestling that
Hmm.
the silence is just a sign of respect from the Japanese people. And it was really surreal watching that match because I was like, this match is so good, and the crowd is completely, into it. I just loved it. So Kenta is gonna definitely. I look forward to seeing some action between him and Cesaro. I think
Mhm.
him and Cesaro will tear the house down. And if Bryan Daniels or Daniel Bryan ever comes back,
He will.
I'm kind of skeptical. If
He will. He will. He'll come back. It's just going to be a year from now.
you think he will,
Yeah, he
okay.
will. He will.
Uh, yeah, I think Kenta will tear the house down definitely with a bunch of people in WWE.
All right,
Yeah.
Chase, your thoughts?
When it comes to Kenta, I am a fan of Kenta. I know a lot of people may be shocked by this because I don't like a lot of internet wrestling darlings, but I do like my fair share of internet wrestling darlings.
Yeah.
Pretty much for anyone who doesn't know who Kenta is, go watch a CM Punk match because CM Punk pretty much stole half of his moveset.
Half of it, yeah. Exactly.
Pretty much most of it is Kenta. Pretty much most of it's Kenta's.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this one because it seems like the WWE is serious about pushing him, and they're not going to give him a lame Japanese gimmick like Yoshitatsu and Funaki and all those other guys that they've had brought over from Japan. I really hope
Lord Tenzai. What the hell?
Our Tensai. Like in all honesty, I'm not asking for this guy to be a main eventer. I'm not. Like I know a lot of people say this guy should deserve to be a main eventer, but I'm one of those guys that just want him to be treated right and treated with the respect that he deserves. And he seems to be humble about the whole thing. He says that he's going to go in there. He doesn't care if his name is changed. He doesn't care if he's starting from the bottom. He's just happy to be living a dream. And most people need to have the mindset like Kenta. Like if I was fucking Kenta and I was 33 years old, and I was a big name in Japan, selling out arenas in Japan, I would come in and be like, nope, I deserve to be on the main roster. I would be cocky like Sin Cara was when he first came to the WWE, or Mystico, I should say, now. But I would be like him, cocky as fuck. But Kenta, he's coming in so fucking humbled, and it's so great to hear that he's willing to start from the bottom. I think he's going to do wonders for the NXT product. I really think that he's going to do well when he gets onto the main roster. I just hope the WWE books him well. I'm not asking for a world title. I'm not asking for him to be world heavyweight champion. What I'm asking for is that he's booked properly. I think he's going to bring on some really good matches. I think that him versus Cena versus Cesaro versus Batista versus especially Orton. I think him and Orton would put on a great fucking match. Versus Bryan when Bryan's back and healthy. I think he could work matches well with almost anyone on the roster. I mean, look at the NXT matches we're going to get. Possibly him versus Neville, him versus Zayn, him versus Kid, him versus Gabriel. You know, there's a lot of good matches he's going to put on. So I think he's going to do well in the WWE. I wish him the best of luck. And you guys know I'm from Asian descent, so any Asian wrestler is cool with me. And so go Kenta, go. Or Ken Taylor, as they might call him in WWE, Ken Taylor.
There you go. All right, before actually getting into the actual predictions, I know, Brendan, you did want to talk about this too while we were talking before we went on the air. And I noticed too that last night that CM Punk is now apparently on the Illuminati page on WWE.com. So just wanted to get you guys' thoughts. And is there still hope that he probably will return? Brendan, your thoughts?
I've said it for a while now. I think CM Punk's done. I swore up and down that it wasn't work. He left the day after the Royal Rumble, and I swore to God that it went to work. I thought it was a very, very well done work. But after the months have progressed and still no update about Punk. And then he comes out and says basically that he retired. I think CM Punk might be done. It'll be cool. I hear he wants to do podcasting, so that'll be a podcast I listen to. Although I do kind of disrespect the way he left. If he left like that without putting a thing out there, I'm retiring. Do what Vicky Guerrero did. Put an article on WWE.com. Thanking everybody who supported him during his tenure in the business. The way he left is the reason why we thought it wasn't work, because he left just with nothing. He left no explanation. I think he left like a little girl. I will say that. And he wasn't happy about being put in the program with Triple H at WrestleMania 30. uh, which, you know, one of the reasons why he left, I heard. And Paul Heyman said he was just getting tired and, you know, just getting, and I understand that too. Punk had 2 blown out knees, and, you know, he's really young, and he probably gonna be in pain the rest of his life when it comes to his knees. So yeah, I respect him on that end. You know, taking care of his body. Rey Mysterio should have done that a long time ago. But yeah, I think CM Punk leaving. I think he's gone for good. I mean, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
When it comes to CM Punk, like, I respect him as a person. Like, the thing is, whenever I meet wrestlers, I don't act like a fan towards them. I just try to joke around with them because, to me, they're people. They're just people I watch on my TV. Like, I joke around with them. I'll go to Ezekiel Jackson. And, like, I remember when I met Ezekiel Jackson, I was all like, hey, man, you got any workout tips for me, man? I got to get bigger. And he's all like, yeah, man. And then I was just talking to him like a normal person. Like, anytime I meet any wrestler, I just joke around and I have fun with them. I treat them like they're normal people. I don't try to treat them on a higher standard because they're just people on my TV. And they probably get sick and tired of being treated like they're special. They like it when people treat them. And when it comes to CM Punk, I am a huge Punk fan. I'll say it. Like, he's probably my favorite internet darling or indie wrestler per se. He's one of my favorites. I always liked CM Punk. The way he walked out, I didn't like how he walked out, like Brendan said. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, you know, if he's done, he's done, man. I'm not going to beg for him back. I'm not going to ask for him back. If he wants to just have babies with AJ Lee, man, and he's happy with his life, fuck yeah, dude. Just live your life, man. Just live how you want to live. Make a podcast, make a fire, make whatever you want to do. Do a video series. I don't care, man. Just have fun doing what you're doing as long as you love him. As long as he's loving what he's doing, that's all I care about, man. Like, I'm not going to obsess over him. Like most wrestling fans who can't let him go and chant his name, like CM Punk. CM Punk is like that girlfriend that, you know, like just dumped you and you can't get over that girlfriend. That's what CM Punk is to a lot of wrestling fans. Like, you know, I let him go. You know, I think he will be back in a couple of years. Actually, I think that he will definitely be back. I think he will start to miss it a little bit, and then he will come back. You know, him and Vince have a good relationship. I mean, it's probably he has to get through the Triple H hurdle. That's the only thing that's probably going to hurt him ever coming back again because Triple H is mad at him. But it seems like Vince likes CM Punk, so he will definitely be back down the line. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. Like I said, probably a couple of years, 3 years down the line. But I just wish him the best of luck, man. I wish him the best of luck in his future in life. And, you know, he always talked about how he wants to retire at the age of 35 and how he's retired at the age of 35. So good for him.
Yeah, it's really crazy, like I was saying before too. But, you know, I can understand too, like with him being like dealing with injuries and stuff like that and wanting to heal up and everything. You know, I can respect that too. So I do wish him the best of luck with the podcast. I think that's going to go really great. It's going to be worth a listen to. So I'm going to have fun listening to that as well. And even if he is retired, you know, he does already have a hell of a career behind him already too alone. So it's really been something. So only time will tell. We'll probably be definitely surprised too, and it'll be well worth a surprise once CM Punk does return. So of course I would be looking forward for it, and we'll see what the future holds for CM Punk.
Yep, exactly. I could have swore though that he was gonna come back at ROH Best in the World. I thought Adam Cole was setting up something for CM Punk to return, but
there was no way he was going to be able to return from ROH Best in the World because like the WWE contracts that they have. I mean, if Evan Bourne couldn't get on ROH Best in the World, there's no way CM Punk could.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, so going ahead and moving on now into the Battleground predictions, and of course, But anyway, just get things over with, especially with the pre-show match now. Getting thoughts on that. Of course, we have Cameron and Naomi. And now with this one, it should be okay. I think definitely Naomi should get the win more here on this one, especially with the whole thing with Cameron now, just stirring up trouble and being the troublemaker and all that stuff. So I'm definitely going with Naomi. Chase, your thoughts?
I hope Naomi wins. WWE don't do anything stupid and book Cameron to win because I can see the WWE being stupid here and having Cameron win by a shitty roll-up. and they're going to be like, oh, we're going to build this feud on Superstars in the main event. Look, no one cares about the Funkadactyls feuding. That's just the bottom line. That's just the truth. I really feel like you should just have the match. Cameron wins. Naomi wins. Naomi's a rising star. Naomi's a rising star in her Divas division.
Yeah, she definitely
I
is.
really feel she's a top 3 diva in the Divas division. You know, she's someone who can wrestle. She's improved so much since NXT, man. She's improved so much.
Yeah, she's doing really well.
She deserves this opportunity at the Divas title sometime in the fall time, in my personal opinion. So really, I hope Naomi wins this match, and Cameron, you know, the only reason why she has a job, let's face it, is because she's good on Total Divas. Like, she's a perfect reality TV character. She's a hot mess. She's annoying. You want to see what she's going to mess up on. That makes perfect reality TV characters. Like, go watch any reality TV show, Survivor, Big Brother, The Real World. The people who are loved on those shows are hot messes, and that's what Cameron is. That's the only reason why she has a job at the WWE. She can't wrestle worth a damn, but just because she's good on Total Divas, the only reason why she has a job. So please, WWE, do the right thing. They owe me for the win.
Brandon, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, this match is definitely no Melina versus Alicia Fox, but
Clearly not.
I think Naomi gonna carry the majority of this match, if not all of it. I don't see any potential in Cameron at all, other than getting a DUI here and there.
Hey, David, on main event they had Cameron versus Emma, right?
Yeah.
I know that. Like, you should lock them both.
Hey,
up.
I know that when Emma came out. I thought it was cool. I was surprised to see her back, actually. So.
The prison fight, man. The prison fight. That's the prison fight.
Yeah, it's like get them out there in orange.
Yeah.
Get them out there in orange jumpsuits.
Exactly. I'm wearing orange right now.
Yeah, I can see the WWE using that totally.
Yeah.
Like putting them out there in orange jumpsuits and like putting a bunch of security guards around the ring and stuff. Yeah, Naomi's gonna win this. Obviously. I don't think this feud's gonna go past one pay-per-view. Naomi got bigger and better things to do. Cameron, you know, keep her off TV. I think when the Funkadactyls are over now, I think Cameron's gonna go down to nothing. Cameron's gonna go down to Rosa. Cameron's gonna go to Rosa Mendez status.
Yeah, like where she's only kept on the roster for Total Divas purposes. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, exactly. So, David, Naomi to win here.
Yeah, Naomi to win.
Alright, so moving on, we got the IC Championship, which would be on the line. And it really does suck that Bad News Barrett had to actually give up the title and was injured. So now with this one, you know, it should be actually pretty good, not nearly as good as the WrestleMania 30 Battle Royal, but with this one, I do actually have Cesaro as my main pick. That's just me. I would like to see him win it and to see what he can do. Now he's not with Paul Heyman. Now he'll be more on his own, and like to see how he would be able to keep the title and everything, and see what other stuff that we are going to be looking to see from him. So that's really cool. So I really don't think that's going to hurt him at all, and I think he'll do fine. Chase, your thoughts?
I think Cesaro's going to win the IC title here, mainly because Paul Heyman is not with Cesaro anymore, and the WWE may feel like, oh, we need to give Cesaro something so that way he looks important. I mean, the guy just won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Obviously, we know the company's high on him, and they want us to be surprised if he does win the Battle Royale. That's why they've been booking him to lose. But I also got Chase Bolivar's notes over here. Chase Bolivar actually wants to give out his official prediction. He can't make the show, obviously, but he says, all of you guys need to realize that there's only one man who should win the IC title this Sunday at Battleground. The one man that makes everyone believe that everything is right in the world. Bo Dallas will win the IC title Battle Royale and become 16-0, baby. Oh, by the way, Chase, I don't use this language very often, but you, my friend, are a big dummy. Love, Chase Bolivar. So Chase Bolivar is choosing Bo Dallas to win this, but I think that Cesaro is going to win just to give him something, you know, because Paul Heyman's not going to be on his side anymore because obviously he's going to be with Brock Lesnar. So you know they're going to just give him the IC title so that way he looks important and stuff like that. So Cesaro for the win.
All right, Brendan, your thoughts?
I wonder what Paul Heyman's plan C actually is.
Brock
Could it
Lesnar.
be?
The
Could it be
beast.
some? Could it be SummerSlam? Could it be Brock Lesnar time? But yeah, I totally see Cesaro winning here. Although I'm scared that they'll give it to Sheamus just to put.
No, they won't
I don't think
unify.
they're gonna
Okay,
do that.
okay, Brennan, they're not going to unify the titles on fucking Battleground, man. Like, trust me, if Sheamus was going to win this, the WWE would have shoved Sheamus down our throats to the point where it's obvious he's going to win. He's not winning that Battleground. If
Yeah,
anything, they're going to set up Sheamus versus Cesaro at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and it'll probably come down to Sheamus and Cesaro, and then
Yeah.
that's set off the match.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or Cesaro versus Ziggler, or Cesaro versus Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go.
that what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, like, you would know Sheamus is going to win because the WWE would make it painfully obvious that he was going to win.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Cesaro's my pick too.
From there, we move on into with the Divas match, the second one, where we had Paige and as well AJ Lee, of course.
Oh
AJ
my
Lee
God.
cutting her tail.
The IWC is going crazy. The two best women wrestlers of all time.
You got the two biggest booties in the WWE too. I swear to
They're
God.
going at it. They're going to have a 5-star match.
But in all
They're gonna have a
seriousness, I
five-
think it's going to be a cool match, despite with the build and everything, how they're basically going at it as a respectable type of thing. So eventually, I think things are really going to get pretty much more intense a little bit more after that, and then probably have one final match too at the next pay-per-view. So with this, I do see AJ Lee retaining the title as much as I want to see Paige be able to get that title back. I would love to see her last night as champion, but it happened. So there you have it with that. AJ Lee is my pick. Brandon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. I don't think it's going to be a great match. I mean, not overhyped.
How dare you?
Exactly. And like, how dare you do that?
This is going to be a 5-star classic.
Boring.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match. AJ's gonna win here, but the real winners are the men of the YWC. I'd say that. But yeah, that's my opinion.
For me, I'm the second biggest Paige fan on YouTube behind David. I got to give David respect there. So I'm the second biggest Paige fan behind David. But when it comes down to it, I'm just joking around. I think this is going to be a good match. My problem with this match is the build up to it because this is a rubber match. And this is how you're building it up. Oh, AJ, I think your hair looks really great. Oh, thanks, Paige. You look good. Have you been working out? We're such frenemies. Like, the fuck is this shit? This is a rubber match and you're building it up like that? Oh, we got best friends. Man, this is not how you build a rubber match, man. This is a slow build for a rubber match that a lot of fans are interested in, man. Like, this is actually a Divas match that a lot of people have been talking about ever since, like, Paige won the NXT Women's title. Like, so many people are like, oh, we got to get Paige versus AJ Lee and stuff like that. So, for me personally, I'm not a fan of the build-up of this match. I think it's dumb, and it's totally just a wait. This match right here, the WWE saying, look, this match is not going to matter that much because we're going to have a better match at SummerSlam. These two are going to have a much better match at SummerSlam. This match is just a waste of time for you guys. And the way I see this match going down is I see Paige, I see the match being equal to start off. Paige will dominate most of the match, and it looks like Paige is going to win, but then AJ is going to get a quick little roll-up, and then Paige is going to go, start crying and be like, how did I lose? And then it's going to build up to Paige, hopefully finally becoming heel and hopefully being interesting, and then AJ Lee being a babyface, hopefully. So that's what I think they're going to do. Another method that the WWE can also do in this match is have Paige win in a dirty fashion, and then you can build it off that where AJ's like, hey, I thought we were friends. Why did you go to that lengths to win the title? And Paige is like, what are you talking about, AJ? I was just doing what most people would do in your situation, that type of deal. You could go either route, but I really think AJ Lee is going to retain here. And then starting off, the Paige versus AJ Lee, the real match at SummerSlam. I feel this match is going to be short, not as long as some fans are going to be expecting, just kind of like a little taste of what are things to come. But at SummerSlam, we will get a much better match. So AJ Lee to retain via roll-up.
All right, there you go. All right, moving on into the next match, which I think it would be really awesome, and I've been enjoying too what we've been seeing, and I'm sure we'll definitely get some more going into SummerSlam as well with Chris Jericho and as well Bray Wyatt. I think
Ah,
things are going to
this
be
is
really
awesome.
awesome.
This is the greatest match of all time.
Okay. But in other words, yeah, I think it's going to be a great match, and just by, with the build-up alone, I think it's going to be truly something interesting. But with this one, I am actually going to go with Bray Wyatt, even though I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Jericho get a win, so I'm really torn between the two, but I am actually going to go with Bray Wyatt getting the win. Chase, your thoughts?
I actually think Chris Jericho is going to win here, and here's the reason why. Because let's face it, Bray Wyatt winning at Battleground, no one's going to remember that shit down the line. We always talk about here on YouTube, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series is where you get the significant pay-per-view wins. And really, to be honest here, I think it would be more interesting if Jericho beat Wyatt here, because then Wyatt's words that he's been spreading about how Jericho's no longer the best in the world at what he does and how Jericho's just a false prophet. It would be like Bray Wyatt would have to kind of change his character a bit and kind of be something different than what we're seeing now. So I actually hope Jericho wins here because I think the feud, because we all know this is going to happen at SummerSlam again. If you don't think this match is happening at SummerSlam, you are blind and obviously you don't know WWE. But SummerSlam, they're going to have another match. It's kind of like what I was saying about the Paige versus AJ Lee match. It's the same thing with this one. I think this match is going to be a little bit short, on the shorter side. It's not going to be as, longer than it should be. But I really think because it's going to have a better SummerSlam match. But I think Jericho winning would be a better story heading on forward because then we get to see more from Bray Wyatt and see how Bray Wyatt's character can change in a situation where his words are not true. So I think Jericho will win here. And also, you have to have Jericho win at least a big pay-per-view match. We can't have him fucking come back for 3 months and have him lose all 3 pay-per-view matches. I mean, that's just not good booking. So I think Jericho. I think Jericho will win at Battleground, and then at SummerSlam, Bray will get the return win.
Yeah.
All right, Brendan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Jericho's gonna win it here, and at SummerSlam, Jericho will finally do what he's known to do, and that's put younger talent over.
Yeah.
And Jericho knows that, and he probably knows people aren't gonna be mad at him for not putting over Bray Wyatt.
And here's the thing. All you internet fans that get mad if Jericho does not put over Bray Wyatt, shut up because he's going to put him over at SummerSlam. So calm your tits and fucking
if not
Jericho
in
wins
a
on
different
Sunday.
way, yeah.
Yeah.
But continue on, Brendan.
Like the whole Cena feud was getting Bray Wyatt ready for this feud. Cena had to go over in that feud.
I disagree. I 100% disagree.
Jericho arguably just as big as Cena is.
No.
Well,
there's no arguing that. Okay, if I go on the street right now, Brendan, I ask people who's John Cena, who's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, a lot of people will get confused with Christian or Chris Benoit. If you ask a normal person, John Cena, you can't get confused because you know who that motherfucker's name is. That's what I'm saying.
I see where you're coming from. But think about it. Chris Jericho's been in the business longer.
He's been in the business longer, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, John Cena is still a bigger star because the WWE has promoted him as a bigger star. Because let's face it, Jericho in the Attitude Era, he was just really an enhancement guy for The Rock, Triple H, and Steve Austin, and Undertaker, and Kane, and all those other guys. Like he was just an enhancement guy. Yeah, he won the Undisputed title, but he was more like a long-term transitional champion for Triple H when he returned to the WWF at the time. So really, to be honest, Chris Jericho was always I love Jericho. Don't get me wrong. I think he's definitely a well-known wrestler. I get what you're saying, but he's nowhere near on the same star level as Cena. He's nowhere near there.
As Cena, yeah. I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, that's why I disagree with that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, in some aspects, Bray probably should have won over in that feud.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think Jericho putting him over is good too. What I'm trying to get at. And I think Jericho, like you said, Jake, he's gonna win here in that SummerSlam at the bigger pay-per-view. He's gonna win it. Bray Wyatt, that is.
All right, there you go. All right, now with the next match, which is going to be another really interesting and great one. Now with Seth Rollins and as well with Dean Ambrose, and it looks like Seth
Oh
Rollins is
my
still going to be
god!
able to compete in another one of those matches.
5 stars!
Now this is one of the matches where I actually am one of those people.
I at least he
I am
admits
one of,
it.
yeah.
John Moxley versus Tyler Black. Oh!
I'll admit it on that one. I'm totally
Yeah. There's going to be
totally
a crazy, insane spot. So.
yeah. This is gonna be a good match. As Chase Oliver said, it's gonna be a 5-star match.
5-star classic.
But I think it'll be a really good match. I don't want to say match of the night yet because I don't know if I don't know how Jericho.
Could be at least one of them.
I don't know how Jericho Wyatt's gonna go.
If it goes like their NXT, if it goes like their NXT match, Jericho versus Wyatt will be match of the night for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to see. Those two matches are on. Even the Fatal 4-Way match looks like it's gonna be something good. But
yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, I think this match is gonna be awesome, and I already know Chase Oliver thinks that it's gonna be a 5-star match.
Yeah. Who's your pick though overall? Who do you see winning the match?
Well, this is the first match in the feud. So, Seth Rollins, I'm gonna pick. Yeah.
For this match, for me, I actually think Dean Ambrose is going to win. I think this is going to be a good match, and this is actually a good mid-card feud. This is how you build a mid-card feud, where you have it where there's actually personal animosity between these guys. I mean, Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield and everything like that, and you know, I actually am a fan of this feud, and I can't wait to see what they produce at Battleground. I actually think this is going to be one of the longer matches of the night. I think Dean Ambrose is going to win, and here's the reason why. Because I really think they want to give Seth that big SummerSlam win, and I really think that SummerSlam, the return match, is going to be like a hardcore type of match, like a no-holds-barred type of situation. So I think it's more like Dean Ambrose wins here, and then Seth goes to Triple H and be like, hey, man, I can control Dean Ambrose. It was a situation that I can do. I know I failed at Battleground, but give me one more shot at SummerSlam. SummerSlam, I'll beat the living shit out of Dean Ambrose. And, you know, you put it into a hardcore match, and it's going to be a better match at SummerSlam. You know, a lot of these matches that I'm going to talk about, a lot of these matches are rematches for SummerSlam. Let's just face it.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
3 out of the 4 matches you can argue are going to be rematches for SummerSlam. So, in all honesty, you know, I'm looking forward to this match. As I joked around, I don't think it's going to be a 5-star match, but it's going to be a good match. I think it is going to be match of the night. But I have Dean Ambrose winning here, get the face to win here, and then have the heel can't believe, because Rollins already won at Money in the Bank. You know, Rollins got that Money in the Bank win, and it was even though I disagree with how the ending was booked, it was a good heel way for him to win. So then you have Dean win here, and then you have Seth win at SummerSlam. So that's what I would do. So Dean Ambrose is going to win for me in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to agree. I mean, I think Dean Ambrose does deserve that, especially with everything that he's been through, even with it sweet, too. So I think it would be really cool to actually see Dean Ambrose get the win, and then I'm for sure that we are going to see a lot more coming for Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, too, as well. So there you have it with that. Then with the next match, which actually should be pretty good, you know, I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it, but with Jack Swagger and as well with Rusev. Now with this one, you know, this build hasn't built too bad with the build-up, and I like how Jack Swagger is now a face, so that's giving him something more to do, and then we get to see like more out of Zeb Colter as well. Now with this whole war with him and as well Lana and all that good stuff, so I actually have been pretty much a fan of that. At this time, I think Rusev most likely will probably get the win. Jack Swagger will probably come close. So overall, Rusev is my pick. Brendan, your thoughts?
Yeah. This is the oldest story in wrestling, and it still works. USA versus
Russia.
Or some foreign country. It happened with
World War III.
Sergeant. It happened with Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan with USA and
Iran.
Sergeant Slaughter with Iran. I think it's the oldest story, but it still works. People will get firmly behind the face, and yeah, I think it's one of the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen this kind of support for Jack Swagger, and I know I tweet Stevie Breach every time the crowd's going nuts for him, because I know Stevie Breach has got to be, get
Yeah,
over
he's
the
loving
moon
it.
right. Yeah, he's completely loving it right now. Considering I don't think I've ever seen a bigger Jack Swagger mark in the YWC bigger than Stevie Breach.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see. But is this the first match in the feud? I don't know if that feud will go beyond this pay-per-view,
Yeah.
so I'll pick Swagger for this one.
For me personally, I just don't like the build-up because they're trying to build up more USA versus Russia than Jack Swagger versus Rusev, in my personal opinion. And if I were to choose the perfect superstar for Russia, it's not Rusev. If I were to pick the perfect superstar for USA, it's not Jack Swagger. But in all honesty, when it comes to Jack Swagger, thanks to the WWE Network, I've been more high on this guy. And I've been saying, this guy could be a good mid-carder for the WWE. Why aren't they doing shit with him? I'm not asking for a main event spot for Jack Swagger or anything. I'm just asking for a mid-card. And I'm glad that he's getting all this support. And this feud is definitely doing that for him. But for me, how I would book this feud is I would have this go to a no contest. I would just have this be a no contest-like match and then setting up for a rematch at SummerSlam. I don't think this is another match where could potentially we see a rematch at SummerSlam. But at the end of the day, I think they're just going to have Rusev beat him, which is a shame because I feel like, you could do a lot more with this feud, and this feud definitely has a lot of gas in the tank where it could last a little bit longer. But, it is what it is. So I think Rusev's going to win, and then ultimately he's going to fall to the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Fuck yeah. That's what I do.
Well, off the
That's
rope,
what he do.
Off the rope show brought in a cool theory that Jack Swagger wins, but it's Rusev just passes out during the.
Yeah, I heard that. I think that would be a great move too. I think that would be great. I just say no contest because the WWE would not know how to write that. That's the only reason why I say no contest because it's not. This is what the WWE does for the writing process. I'm gonna have to take off my headphones for this, but they literally have Vince McMahon in a chair. They have Vince McMahon in a chair, and they spin Vince around like this in the chair. Vince spins around in the fucking chair, and then he's like dizzy. He's like dizzy like this. And then, he throws darts at a fucking wall, and he's like, "Oh, that's the feud I want to see." So that's how business side shit nowadays in WWE. They spin Vince McMahon around in the chair, and he throws darts at a fucking wall. So, in all honesty, I wish that they would probably put Swagger over here. I think it would make Rusev a much more interesting character, in my personal opinion, if Jack Swagger won. But I just really think they're just going to have Rusev win here. But this match should be pretty solid, and it should be a good brawl between these two for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So with the next match that I do see on the card, and now we have the tag team championships, which are on the line between the So and the Wyatt family. So now with this
match
one,
is going to be awesome.
just
5-star
as much.
classic.
I mean, we've
2 out
already
of 3
seen what
balls.
they can really do, so it's going to be something really great. And with this one, I'm most likely going to go with the Usos, but if the Wyatts do get the win, that'd be cool. I was hoping they would get the win the last time, and then have the Wyatt family actually hold all the gold. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but it happened. So most likely, I'm going to go with the Usos to retain. But any thoughts?
I'm gonna go with the Wyatt because I think the Wyatts deserve it. I think this is the final match in the feud. I hope because this feud is getting a bit too long. Originally started out with Bray Wyatt and Cena, and the Usos came in to help Cena, and now that feud has kind of branched off into the Usos and the other two members of the Wyatt family. I want to see the Wyatts get it here. I think that would be what's best for business. I think. We'll have to see.
That is not best for business, because what's best for business it's going to be the Usos retaining, ugh. And then the Usos jobbing out to the Ascension, ugh. In the middle of that ring,
Not the job.
Well, I like to see. I think a Wyatt family versus the Ascension.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I am on the boat of giving the Wyatt family the tag team titles. I totally understand where fans are coming from, but I'm so happy David is also choosing the Usos because I thought I was going to be the only YouTuber on the universe to choose the Usos. Because
You're not alone.
I was the only one at Money in the Bank. I watched all these predictions. I was the only one for Money in the Bank to choose the fucking Usos. And then when they won, I was like the only one. I was like, what?
Family last time too.
Yeah, everyone, when I was watching In the Hot Seat, when I commented in the comment section, I'm like, Usos are going to retain. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, the Wyatts are going to win. I was like, oh, man, what? I'm like, the reason why I say the Usos are going to win is this, and this is my theory for a while now since the Usos have been holding the tag team titles. I really think they're trying to build up the Usos to be a great tag team just to ultimately give it to the Ascension. That's why I think they're building up the Usos to be a great tag team. Because if the Wyatts win here, I don't want them to be transitional champs to the Ascension. And also, I don't think the Usos and Wyatts feud have enough gas in the tank to reach the SummerSlam to have a big payoff match there. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what else they can do with this feud going on forward. So, in all honesty, I think the Usos are going to retain, but ultimately just drop the belt to the Ascension because, you know, Triple H loves the Ascension. They're one of his favorite tag teams. I mean, obviously they haven't lost the NXT tag team titles in almost 300 days or some shit like that. So really, to be honest, it's just that I really do feel like you're trying to build up the Usos to be this great dominant tag team. Like, who could stop them? And then here comes Connor and fucking Victor to bore us all and beat the fucking Usos. And it's like, yeah.
It's hard to believe that Connor O'Brien was so bad a few years ago.
Yeah, he made a drastic change.
He had a rat on it. He had a fucking... Dude, this motherfucker had a rat on his fucking trunk on NXT, dog.
Exactly. It's like it's hard to believe that he's now he's now a part of one of the top tag teams in the WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about some of the guys like Husky Harris. Husky Harris was so bad. I hated him, but now you turn him into Bray Wyatt, and he.
I swear.
Got the whole world in his hands.
I swear. Every time I see Bray Wyatt, I always say to myself, "How is this motherfucker Husky Harris?"
Exactly.
Every time I see him, I cannot believe it. Like I always say that every time I see him because it's just remarkable the change that he's gone through. So really great stuff by Husky Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, so now we finally made it for the main event for the Fatal 4-Way match. Go ahead.
Everyone knows who's winning. Cena wins. LOL. Okay, we don't need to talk in detail about this. I mean, let's face it. My boy Randy Orton, he has no fucking chance. I would love to see Orton walk out and swerve the YWC, but he has no fucking chance.
You can always have that swerve.
Demon Kane, like what the fuck? Kane's still in the main event, and we're in 2014. Roman Reigns, let me just say this: I love me some Roman Reigns, but WWE slow down on the push of this motherfucker. This guy is getting pushed way too fast, man. I like Roman Reigns, but just imagine the past pushes in WWE. I mean, look at Cena, look at Batista, look at Edge, look at Randy Orton. These motherfuckers actually have to face other superstars. Like Roman Reigns is possibly going to have a SummerSlam match with Randy Orton and then a Night of Champions match with Triple H. John Cena around this time, before he got pushed to the WWE title, he was facing Rene Dupree and Kenzo Suzuki. This guy wasn't facing fucking Triple H and fucking Randy Orton, like top stars. Like, god dang. I mean, honestly, I think this will be a good match, but Cena's going to win. Cena is going to win. Kane's there to take the pinfall. No way Randy Orton's getting pinned. No way Roman Reigns is going to get pinned. Cena's going to pin Kane. Build up to fucking Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. That's it.
Brock Lesnar. People would hate to hear that. But Brock Lesnar is just holding that title for Roman Reigns until WrestleMania 31. I mean,
it depends how long he's going to be around for. So
I mean,
I'm not really too sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely Roman Reigns is getting the title at 31. I totally see that. But you know, Cena's gonna win here. Lesnar's gonna beat him at SummerSlam because you can't not give Brock Lesnar the title. Like
Yeah.
What did he do this year? That was one of the biggest.
He
He
beat the
came
streak.
to
big-
one
He beat the
and
streak.
21 and
Yeah.
1 at WrestleMania 3.
Here's a question. Actually,
Yeah.
instead of talking about this fatal four-way, because we all know who's fucking winning, are you guys legitimately excited for Brock Lesnar versus John Cena? Like, just put
No, we
any
haven't seen it before.
put any Cena hate aside. Put all the Cena hate aside. Put all the Brock hate aside. Besides the fact that you just want to see Brock Lesnar beat Cena for the title, is there any excitement for Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at WrestleMania at SummerSlam? Is there any excitement for that? Like, are you generally excited to see that matchup?
I had excitement at their Extreme Rules 2012 match a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
that was fun.
That was exciting. Yes, that's exciting. But I'm talking about today,
Yeah.
SummerSlam 2014. They're wrestling for the title. Put any Cena hate aside. It's just Brock versus Cena for the title. Are you excited for that matchup?
it seems like one of those matches that you get to watch, and you're not
Yeah.
really excited. You're not really anything about the match. You're
Because we already know what those two have already done before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the point I've been trying to make across, because I really feel like if the WWE, you're pushing Roman Reigns to the fucking moon, it has to be Roman Reigns versus Cena at SummerSlam. That's just my personal opinion. Because you're pushing this guy to the moon already. Give him the belt. Don't fuck up like you did with Ryback. Don't mess up like you did with Ryback 2 years ago, where Ryback should have beat CM Punk for the heavyweight championship at Hell in a Cell. Because a lot of people would say, "Oh no, that's bad, Chase." But hey, you know what? There was a triple threat match at Survivor Series in which CM Punk could have regained the belt back anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. Because here's the thing: what I'm saying is just that I feel like Cena versus Lesnar, I can understand where the WWE is coming from. It's Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. It's a big money match. Definitely casual fans would be tuning in for it. But I feel like a lot of fans have been watching the product for weeks and weeks in advance. I don't think they're going to be that excited to see Cena versus Lesnar at SummerSlam, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I think we just got Brahim, which took him long enough. And he's gone.
He's gone.
And I was going to get to his thoughts, but unfortunately, we're pretty much ending the show here. And yeah, other than that, I mean, with the home match, it is going to be interesting, and most likely John Cena will win, so he's going to be my pick.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good match for sure. Like, I'm not trying to discredit this match or anything. I wasn't trying to dick or anything. I was just being honest. Like, there's no point in talking about this match because we all know Cena's going to win. I think it's going to be a good match. I think this is actually going to surprise some people. And the one thing I want to say before we end off the show is I feel bad for Battleground 2014 because this is actually a good-looking pay-per-view card, and it's sad that the WWE has not promoted it well, and that the WWE has not been having really good Raws as of late to really make this show feel somewhat special, because this is actually a good show. And WWE, if you want your network buys to be higher than they already are, hell, man, this is like a card that you put on Battleground, and this is the reason why people would subscribe to the network. Not you shoving it down our throats and telling us there's a free freaking trial. That's not going to do a good job selling the network. Doing good on Monday Night Raws and Friday Night SmackDowns, that's what sells the freaking network. That's what makes us want to watch the network more. And it's such a shame because I actually think that this card has a lot of good matches, and it's going to be a great I think this could actually be a good pay-per-view in ring-wise for the WWE. I just feel the storylines and the build-up to the show have just been so terrible that a lot of fans have been disinterested in watching Battleground.
Yeah,
that's just me. It's like, that's just me, but that's how I feel like it. I really feel like the WWE, they could actually do a good job with the show further down the line. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially too going with this week. I feel like they did more better for main event and as well for the SmackDown than they did with Raw this week. But that's just me how I feel about it. But go ahead.
Exactly. It's like the thing is like SmackDown and main event. I feel like they've done a better job like building up to Battleground on SmackDown and main event than they have on the Raw show. But here's the problem: not all wrestling fans are going to go out there and watch main event and watch Friday Night SmackDown. That's the thing. You're
now,
not building
if it was live, that would be a different story, though.
Exactly. If it was live, that's a different story. But the thing is, because Raw has just been so like mediocre to bad as of late, it's like no one wants to go out there and talk about want to watch SmackDown on the fucking Friday nights or watch main event. You know, that's the thing. That's the problem with WWE right now. It's just that they're more worried about getting people to subscribe to the network that they forget that they have a TV show on for 3 hours that they should be producing for. And I wish they did a better job in doing so, because for the IC title Battle Royale build, I hate to say it, but putting on a bunch of random matches is not good mid-card build. That's not good mid-card build. Actually getting us involved with the characters involved in the IC title Battle Royale, that's good build. And Paige versus AJ Lee, that's a great match and all, but when these two are acting like freaking teenage girls and they're like, oh, I like your hair, that does not get me excited for Paige versus AJ Lee. That's just dumb. And, you know, Jared, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is a women's match. A lot of people have been waiting for it, and it's like they're commenting on each other's hair and looks. I mean, hell, I would probably do the same thing if I was in their situation, but I'm a male. These two, unless these two are becoming lesbian, that's cool with me. I have no problem with that hanging out on TV. But like I'm saying, it's just that the WWE, I wish they did a better job, because Battleground, like, we named all these matches on Battleground. How many of these matches look fucking awesome? How many of these matches look like they could be matches of the night? So many of them, but it's just the WWE's poor job at execution, which pisses me off. But make your Raws more enjoyable, WWE. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
Alright, so there you go. That about does it for the overall predictions show. Of course, let me know what you guys thought overall on your predictions too, as well for Battleground, and as well the topics that we did talk about. It's been fun having you guys on back on the show.
Thank you.
Yep. No problem. Anytime.
Thank you.
Alright. No problem. Alright, so with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next episode, and as well my latest video with the day in the life video, which will be up tomorrow, and as well for my review on Battleground. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.